I recently sold my Fuji X100VI. However, I did reinvest my money back into another camera. Not something newer, but rather older. I'm going from one Fuji to another, the Fuji GA645 medium format film camera. We're gonna take this out in Charleston. I'm only here for a day now. I fired one shot. It was in this hotel room. It was a photo of me sitting here. The beauty of this is that it's massive, obviously, but it's similar to a point and shoot, and it'll ease my way into like a medium format shooting, because I've never shot medium format, and honestly, I'm sure just as you guys, it's kind of intimidating. 35mm was already intimidating as it is, but we will be taking this. I'm gonna try and do some Portra400s currently loaded in here, and then hopefully I can have enough daylight to knock that out and go through some Cinestill, and then maybe Portra 160 tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do 3 rolls, hopefully. This thing already feels like a beast. It just feels great to hold. I've never felt a camera like this. The ergonomics are beautiful. I'm sure there's possibly better out there. However, I'm not complaining. I will say I bought this on eBay. It was a splurge, not something I intended to do right away, but it came in. It's in honestly pristine condition. Only has 300 roll or shutter count on it. So it's barely been used, to be honest with you. Also, the beauty of this is that it has autofocus, and then also the built-in flash. That was a huge selling point for me, and the size of it. We've got about 2 hours of daylight. It's honestly not the sunniest day, so let's go. So unfortunately, as always, I forgot to vlog. The roll of Portra400 came out not terrible, not great. It was pretty cloudy, to be honest with you, so nothing super interesting on the roll. So I started off with the roll of Cinestill 800. There's this church called St. Michael's, I think. I framed it pretty nicely with this house and this G-Wagon. The photo itself came out a little underexposed, not bad, but I slowly moved over to the next house. It had a old Land Rover in front. I thought it was kind of cool. Unfortunately, due to the manual focus aspect of this camera, I didn't get that one in focus. It goes by, I think, like 5, 10, etc. meters. It doesn't give you like a manual focus ring, which is the downside. So with that being said, all these shots are shot in autofocus. To my surprise, with a low light, the camera actually did a really good job at keeping things in focus. Now this next shot, it's on Rainbow Row. It came out really well. I love the split contrast of the buildings. Now the only downside to this shot that I found myself with was that I wish that the lens was a little bit wider. I didn't capture as much as I wanted to, unfortunately. So in this instance, the GA645 wide would have came more in handy. I found myself going to downtown Charleston. The first stop was the Riviera Theater. It took me a couple of tries to get the right composition for this frame. Now with people walking by and also cars, it may not seem like it currently. However, when you set up the 10-second timer with this camera, you do have to factor those in. Also, since this camera was bought off of eBay, I wasn't sure the built-in light meter worked properly. We all know film isn't cheap, so I've been using this app called LightMe. It's a free app on your phone to properly meter all these shots. Honestly, it's been doing a pretty good job. I use it for my 35mm film camera all the time, and I can't complain. This is one of the few shots where the autofocus did miss, and I really regret it. The neon from the restaurant, the Camry parked out front, would have been really cool if it came on focus. However, the camera decided to focus on the only part in front of me instead, and blurred out the entire background. So this shot was kind of a loss, unfortunately. However, next door there was this window. It had a ladder propped up against it. The way it was lit was kind of cool. And of course, this shot came out in focus. It wasn't as interesting as the previous frame, but you know how that works. Now, I didn't show all the shots from this roll, unfortunately. Some of them were out of focus or just did not come out at all. Now, I should say also, all these shots were on a tripod. I wanted to use a tripod to make sure I got the most clarity out of all these images I could. The last 2 frames here are at the American Theater. It's located more in the midtown part of Charleston. The neon you can't really go wrong with. The only downside is there's always a car parked underneath, and I hate it.
Yo, what's up? Woke up a little early. Gonna catch the sunrise. Gonna load some Portra 400 into it, and we'll see how it goes. I don't really know where to get sunrise in Charleston the greatest, so it's gonna be kind of a challenge. Alright, I'll see you guys out there.
These are a couple shots I got at sunrise on Portra400. As always, I wish I would have vlogged a little more. I am pretty bad at this, I can't lie. I'm gonna go run around, take some more photos, and you can catch them on Instagram. And for the next video, I really don't know when I'm gonna put out another one. However, I would like to put out more this year. So just be on the lookout. I always appreciate everyone watching.